Song of Songs 2:8-13. Listen, it's my lover. Here he comes now, leaping upon the mountains, bounding over the hills. My lover is like a gazelle or a young stag. Here he stands now, outside our wall, peering through the windows, peeking through the lattices. My lover spoke and said to me, "Rise up, my dearest, my fairest, and go. Here the winter is past. The rains have come and gone. Blossoms have appeared in the land. The season of singing has arrived, and the sound of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The green fruit is on the fig tree, and the grapevines in bloom are fragrant. Rise up, my dearest, my fairest, and go." Well, to my fellow Americans, happy Independence Day weekend, 250th. I'm celebrating with a classic bomb pop. I thought maybe I could use the different colors to provide an illustration, but I didn't really think of anything, and I decided I just want to have a bomb pop. So that's how I'm celebrating. One of the themes that we see coming up often are references to Solomon and what many might have thought of as kind of the golden age of Israel. And so I don't want to diminish in any way the fact that this is a book in the Bible about romantic love between human beings, and that it's very personal, very interpersonal, and very specific. And it's kind of cool that romance makes its way into the Bible. And yet, there are these little references that make us think that connected to that love, that romance, that kind of sense of utopia that we might derive when we're in love, has a way of framing a social perspective. It has a way of connecting us to the good old days, or the glory days of our home, maybe where we come from, where we grew up, when things were at their best. So we can think pretty easily. We can say, like, okay, that sense of, like, for those of us who have experienced the sensation of being in love, we think of, when did you feel the most in love? And that same warm, fuzzy feeling thing that happens when we recall when we were most in love, that correlates really nicely to thinking of like when were you most happy with your home? When were you most excited about being a citizen of the nation in which you reside? When we take a look at the idea of romantic love and compare it to like a national love or a patriotic love, well, there's a sense of significance to there being that one person, that person whom we are in love with. Like, there's a special connection there that we don't share with other people. The uniqueness of that connection, the fact that it is special, is a critical component of what makes it romantic love, or that kind of love. And similarly, if we think about patriotism, we're thinking about this kind of allegiance and loyalty that is special to our own country, one that an affection that we don't have for every other country. It's also kind of interesting that this is one of the only two books of the Bible in which God does not appear as a character where God is not directly referenced, the other one being Esther. And some have suggested that God, obviously having created human beings, and to some degree, the argument is that we find the Song of Songs included in Scripture as kind of an endorsement, a blessing of human romantic love and relationships. And we can draw from Genesis and other places in which God clearly is involved in blessing, ordaining, orchestrating to some degree those important connections between two human beings. But here, God isn't really actively involved, and there's almost the suggestion that God steps back and allows human beings to have this almost private, sacred love that God's like, cool, that's great that you have this love, and it's okay that I'm not in the middle of it, like lurking around and checking out what you guys are up to when the lights are dim and you're on the couch watching Netflix. But I do want to make the point that maybe to some degree, God takes a step back, allows us to have our patriotic love, but is not super invested in that, because God is the God of all nations, as we see in Isaiah and elsewhere. God is the creator of all human beings, not specific human beings. And so when we take our patriotic love too far is when we love our country at the expense of loving the rest of our sisters and brothers who are associated with the human race. We have to maintain a healthy respect, dignification, a love of neighbor outside of the borders of our country. And we have to maintain a healthy love of neighbor for those fellow citizens within the country whom are not always treated equally or fairly or included appropriately in the national discourse. I am not in the dark about the many failings of my country, but I am conscious that there have been a number of good and healthy things too, that people who came before me, many of them did very good things and preserved for me a home. And this is my home. And I think it's okay to be proud of that, as long as that doesn't lead me to bury my head in the sand about the many, many, many ways in which my country has also failed the international community, failed select persons and people groups here at home. May we experience a variety of loves. May we enjoy specific love that is deep and profound, and may we enjoy loves that are wide and inclusive. And let us always, whether we are celebrating or we are protesting, whether we are praising or we are critiquing, let us move forward little by little, step by step, toward peace.